Warning: the following content may contain spoilers for film and television programs. It is also intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Okay, because
it's one of those things, like if this news article is interesting to you, click here, and then like 1,000 clicks later, you end up somewhere.
Yes.
God damn it, I hate that shit.
Yeah. All right, we've been recording this whole time. Ahoy, all of you flick freaks out there! What is going on? My name is Andrew, and welcome to episode 70 of the Flick Freak Podcast. Joining me, as always, we have the wrong half of Hollywood, aka the Perpetual Wizard, Jareth
Howdy.
Mooneyham, and the Radish Ravinator, aka Mike Boykin.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
I am excellent.
So
So this is episode 70.
Yes.
In honor of the 70th episode of the Flick Freaks
Yes.
podcast, I thought we should talk about what happened in this year, AD, of Earth.
What happened in 70 AD?
In 70 AD, Gaius Julius Quadratus Bassus, the Roman general at Judea, was born. Yeah. Also, I know you'll be very sad to hear this. The hero of Alexandria died today.
Boo. Wait,
and
today, or in 70 AD?
in 70 AD.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mislead you. And Kalumela died in this year as well.
Man, back
There
in
was a
70
bummer.
AD, there were only like 9 people on the Earth, so they lost like half of the population.
Yeah, like everybody died. It was awful. Let's see. Oh, Titus opened a full-scale assault on Jerusalem. Hey, so we
Yeah.
know the world hasn't really changed that much. Everyone's still fighting over the same place.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty much been true always,
Yeah.
ever.
Since Jerusalem was a place.
yeah.
All right.
It's
Thank
even
you.
pretty
I like
much
that.
in all their prophecies.
We should make that a thing. Like, we go through every single year, like in 70 AD.
Yeah.
I like that. And then
Grab
71.
me one as well, Giraffe.
We haven't even started the podcast and you've already drank. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm halfway done with this one right now. So, okay, so speaking of things that were around in 70 AD, my
Yep.
Did You See That opinion of the week
Oh,
is going to be about the film Gods of Egypt.
Gods of Egypt.
Egypt
Yes.
wasn't around. Oh, I get a beer. Okay.
Egypt was around in 70 AD.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Speaking of
I
things.
thought you said wasn't.
If I did, I meant was.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things about this movie, so I'll be very excited to hear your opinion.
Well, there's a reason why you've only heard good things about this movie.
Can you toss me the Batarang, please?
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
You ready?
Oh.
That was the most dainty. A battering should never be thrown like that.
Like underhand.
like flick of the wrist.
I don't know. I think that's probably the way you'd throw it if you don't want the bladed object to murder the guy you're throwing
But
it
it's
at.
a battering.
Ow.
I know, it hurt me too.
It's got it point first.
Well, no matter which way you grab it, you're going to be catching it point first. The thing is
It's made of points, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, darn.
So, Gods of Egypt. This is directed by Alex Proyas. That should be, something good. The guy gave us iRobot, Dark City. He has a really good repertoire of. Nice try. He gives a really good, set of a few good movies.
I like
Yeah.
Dark City. iRobot's like all right.
Yeah, it's like
I really like iRobot.
Yeah, it's like
especially for a Will Smith.
if nothing else, it's a solid sci-fi, action
Thriller
movie.
kind of.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
yeah, not thriller. What's the word I'm thinking?
It's
of?
kind of a thriller.
Yeah. I was wanting to do my Did You See That opinion over season 4 of House of Cards. Haven't had time to start it yet.
Ah,
So this is what we're going to have to fall back on. So, as everybody and their mother knows by now about this movie, it's the huge debacle of Hollywood whitewashing.
yes.
It takes place in Egypt, about Egyptian, and it stars a Brit, a Swede, or a Dane. People from Denmark are Danish, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, they're called Danes. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay,
Danish.
Okay.
Yes.
A Brit, a Danish, a Scotsman, and
Denmarkians.
Denmarkian, yeah.
Denmarkers could be a thing,
And-
actually.
And a guy from South Carolina.
Nailed it.
Oh, and an Australian is
Yeah.
in this as well.
Well,
Possibly 2 Australians.
pretty much every movie's got to have an Australian in it
Aus-
now.
2 Australians because Brian Brown is in this, and so is Jeffrey Rush. Not a single goddamn Egyptian is in this movie.
No.
You know what, though? From everything I'm hearing, that is not the worst sin this movie has made.
Well played. You are moving on to the next part of this review. Holy Jesus titty fucking Christ. This movie was awful.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
But
And
but
I'm-
very accurate to Egyptian mythology, as I understand it. No, sarcasm? Okay.
No, parts of it, yes. Like
the names?
The names are there, yes. And you know how, I don't know how familiar you are with Egyptian mythology.
Mm-hmm.
The god Ra, every single night he has to fight back the chaos, which is the night that comes to kill all Egyptians. He does that every single night. That's actually going on in this, and he rides this big boat in the sky. Yes, that happens. Horus, Set, all the other ones, yeah, Anubis, they're all there. Except they look like humans, and they live with humans, except they're 20 feet tall, and they have superpowers.
Yeah.
Or don't forget, they can turn into poorly CGI'd power armor versions of
Yes,
themselves.
they turn into poorly CGI power armor, like the ones you see on like the hieroglyphs and stuff, like Horus with like the head of a falcon, or Anubis with the head of a jackal, stuff like that. That's their power armors, and yeah, it was really bad.
So I'm guessing the CGI doesn't get any better than it was in the trailer.
No, actually, no. That's if there's one thing that's worse than the acting, which is surprisingly just god awful, especially from the main protagonist, the Brit. That's what I'm just going to refer to him. So you have a Brit, an Australian American, and a Danishman.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you know that you're acting in a hot piece of shit, I mean, why give a damn?
I thought
right?
Gerard Butler was the main.
No,
He's
no.
antagonist.
He's the
He's the bad
villain.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you have
Nicholas
Coster-Waldau, who
Yeah.
is the Danishman.
Yep.
He is also Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And then the main guy is, I think his name was Beck, like the singer, I think.
What?
Yes,
Like-
it is Beck.
Is that his only name?
B-E-K. Beck is the main guy's name. His
Like
real name is Brenton Thwaites.
Okay.
B-E-K, the character.
yes,
Not,
apologies.
not hi, my name is Beck, just Beck like Cher.
Yeah. No. The character's name. Sorry for the confusion. He was also in movies like The Giver. Oh, if you saw The Giver,
Yeah.
he's
yeah.
the main kid in The Giver.
He's one of those, teenage up and comers.
I hope not. Anyway,
This should put the nail in that coffin.
yeah. So you have him as he's a human thief, and after Set, which is played by Gerard Butler, steals Horus's eyes, which are like make him see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because every single god has a superpower built into them. Like the god of brains has like a superpower brain, and Horus, the god who's like the god of the sky, he can see everything. He has superpower eyes. Every single god is like that. So what Set is doing is he's killing all the gods and taking these parts out of them and putting them in himself to make himself a super god.
Fucked up.
Yeah. So he the thief has to steal back the eyes because Horus is the only one strong enough to
Wait,
take down
like
Set.
from Gerard Butler's face?
No, because Set hid the eyes away because he has to use them later.
Because
I don't know.
plot.
What?
Because plot, yeah. I don't know.
Wouldn't
He
they
could've-
work better in his head?
It would have worked better in his head, but that's not that kind of movie.
Mhm.
It's not a movie that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah. So
I hate that type of movie anyway. I mean,
yeah. So yeah, the acting is beyond atrocious. The script is laughably bad, and the CGI is something you'd see in a PS2 game.
Ooh. Are like the fights at least cool?
Okay,
Are
do you
there-
remember the CGI in The Matrix 2, how bad it was whenever Neo had to fight like 1,000 Agent Smiths?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like high-end N64 graphics.
That's the graphics we're dealing with in this movie.
So I have one question for you.
Yes.
How did this happen?
Oh, God, that is
Well,
a good
Ridley
ass
Scott-
question.
A
lot of money had to have gone into this.
I imagine so.
Somebody made this call repeatedly.
Ridley Scott was involved. Big budget action film, recognizable mythology, but it's not too closely tied to a big property.
So the budget for this movie, just take a gander. How much do you think? Holy fuck! It was no way this movie cost this much.
What was it, like $20?
Yeah, no. A serious, legitimate guess. How much do you think the budget for this
50
movie?
mil?
50 mil.
God, I don't.
I'll tell you, he is way off.
I have a shit gauge for this sort of thing.
I'm 250 million.
140.
Okay,
Nailed it.
I'm glad I was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm the closest without going over, so I win the Price is Right.
Roughly the same budget, I think, for the first Avengers movie.
Which nailed it.
Yeah. Let's look this up. Avengers. The budget for the Avengers was. I'm loving this new iPhone, guys. I really am.
So wait a second, because the what?
No, okay, I take it back. It was $200 million for the first
Okay,
Avengers movie.
but still,
yeah.
surely the $60 million there was not all involved in the effects and acting.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the line of
$200
demarcation
million for Avengers. $100 million of that goes to Robert Downey Jr., right? So
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so yeah, no, it's pretty clear how this happened. This type of thing happens all the time, but this is an instance where Hollywood executives' tone deafness really showed itself.
Yeah.
Because I think this kind of movie gets made a lot. I mean, think of like, I don't know, Noah or like...
Which should have been good considering it was directed by Darren Aronofsky.
Yes. There's kind of these big budget, dumb CGI action movies that are happening. And what the reason those get made so much is not only because American audiences love to see a big summer, action movie, but fucking foreign audiences eat this shit up. Like, as shitty as we might find these big budget CGI action films,
they're novel elsewhere. They're not being pumped out all the time.
I don't know what it is, but like in China, these movies will make like 10 times what they make in America. So naturally,
that it's common here.
Yeah. So
we get 10 of them a summer, easy.
Yeah. So and we're probably kind of tired of them. But for some reason, it just translates better to China. That's why they don't really care about the script.
So I want you guys. So Ridley Scott.
It's all going to sound better in Chinese anyway.
Whitewashing, okay?
Yeah.
Ridley Scott did Exodus, the Christian Bale, Joel Edgerton movie.
That's actually another one I was going to bring up.
Okay, so this is Ridley Scott's explanation for why there was a bunch of white actors in that movie, okay?
Yeah.
So this is what he says. I can't mount a film of this budget where I have to rely on tax rebates in Spain and say that my lead actor is Muhammad so-and-so from such and such.
Yeah. Does this surprise anyone? Is anyone surprised by that? Because I'm not surprised by that.
There are good actors out there.
Yeah.
Tons of them.
Oh, yeah. No, this is why I say it's the Hollywood execs' tone deafness. Not only is this a thoroughly whitewashed movie, but they also take Egyptian mythology and make it more like, I guess, westernized, like Greco-Roman, like there's good and evil, which is not really an aspect of Egyptian mythology.
No, they're all good. Even Anubis, the god of the dead, is
Set's kind of a dick. I mean,
he's the god of the desert.
But the thing about Egyptian mythology is that it didn't rely on light and dark like so many of our culture's understanding of mythology. So not only did they whitewash, but they also westernized everything. And that would be fine if they should have just made superheroes of Punchville. Like
they should have made Smite the movie.
What? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Just based on a fucking MOBA. Like, why did they base this on Egyptian mythology? Because
somebody had a cool idea while they were on the can.
But
that's it. That's as far as it got.
I'm not gonna lie. That's how Damn Daniel support group came along.
Yeah. Well, it's just
sometimes it happens.
Not only is this movie pissing people off, but the unfortunate thing though is that overseas it will probably make its budget. It'll probably make this budget back.
I think they said it's made $30 million right now. So
if it makes its budget, it's a failure.
Yeah,
I mean,
it has
that's
to- that's very true. It has
That's
to
that's
make
pretty
it
much
work.
how everything is in Hollywood, right? You need to double or triple your budget to matter.
Yeah.
Or they can write it off as like a tax failure.
Yeah.
So yeah, budget $140 million. Gross so far in the U.S. is 23.
Which is abysmal
Yeah.
and good.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Okay, so moving on. So to end that, did you see that opinion of the week, Gods of Egypt?
I'm glad
Do
I
not see
didn't.
this movie. Do
Don't-
not see this.
Don't even see it ironically because you're supporting the movie. if
I
you
got
do
to
that.
see this movie for free, and I want my money back. So, okay. Everybody, we got a store. If you head over to shop.spreadshirt.com/flickfreaks, we have t-shirts, coffee mugs, sweaters, phone tablet cases, all the great paraphernalia you need. Now,
Let us take a shirt on your chest.
yes, take a shirt on your chest. It's time for the news. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 news items. Fantastic. First
This
up,
this episode brought to you by the number 8
Ocho.
and the letter K.
8K. So, wait, what?
Did you mean to do that correctly?
Yeah?
Okay.
He counted to 8, so I had to say 8.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't. Should I have been like car, the letter car?
Yeah.
Item number 1.
Item number 1.
Mass Effect Andromeda has been delayed until 2017. Its original release date was going to be holiday this year, got pushed back to first quarter 2017.
That's not a huge pushback, but I mean, it's notable.
I think the reason that I know why you're nervous about this is for the fact that they've been losing a lot of people that have been working on this project.
Yeah, it's looking
Because-
like it's getting Destiny syndrome.
I
Yep.
originally was in the boat that this game was pretty much done. It was all going to be, yeah, go for it. It was all going to be, just, hey, we're just going to be getting this ready. So as soon as holiday runs around, we are good to go. But
Yeah.
nope, it's not done, and they lost a lot of people. So I am quite nervous.
Yep.
Still going to buy it.
I don't know about that. I need to see anything from this game. Like, so far we have a cinematic trailer.
In an in-engine trailer. Or, yeah, an in-engine, not gameplay, just in-engine.
Yeah,
Which doesn't mean fuck all.
Yeah. See, it's all about that the marketing speak.
Mhm.
You say this game is in engine. That means that the game is almost done right. Nope.
new.
Not even close. I don't if you want the Angry Orchards, but did you see I did have IBCs in there for you? Because I know you love those, so
I do.
okay.
But I do want Angry Orchard right now. Is
Okay.
this a problem?
No,
I'll s-
I just I didn't know
Okay.
if you because you've been drinking. I was like, does he not know that the IBCs are in there?
No, trust me. If like I didn't see IBCs and I didn't want to be drinking alcohol, I'd be drinking water.
Oh, okay.
So I went at these with a purpose.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Just I don't. These are yours, so I don't want to be a dick.
They're
so.
ours, really. I buy them for us, so
Thank you. I appreciate it greatly.
that's your payment for the skit yesterday, which is doing quite well.
Is it?
I think we're up to like 500 views, and I posted it last night around midnight.
That's
Nice.
good. That's
It
good.
was a lot of fun. But back to Mass Effect, Jareth. So yeah,
I want this to be good.
we all do.
I mean, Mass Effect has been a big part of gaming for a long time now, and being able for it to move forward, especially if they're going to bring it back. I don't want this to be the fucked up, like it comes back and this tarnishes everything's name thing, you know.
Yeah.
But
You know what? BioWare has a good track record. Like, their past several big games have been really, really good.
Bungie had a good track record too.
I don't want to look at the situation that way, but you're right. And
They've lost 2 writers.
yeah.
One of them went to go work on new Destiny.
Yeah, there's a
Destiny 2 Electric Boogaloo.
there's a frightening if this goes the way I hope it doesn't, there is a frightening trend starting in AAA gaming and I don't like it.
Speaking of trends in games that we don't like, Capcom is re-releasing Resident Evils 4, 5, and 6 again. This is like the fourth time they've been re-released on current consoles.
Yes.
Okay, here's something. They're releasing the games in this order, okay? Not 4, 5, and 6. They're releasing it 6, and a couple months later they're releasing 5, and then a couple months later they're releasing 4.
Okay.
They fucked up their fuck up. So,
well, it's
they can't even. Why aren't they even re-releasing their good ones, man? Go back to the fucking originals.
Like Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis, go 1 through 3. That shit's my jam. Actually, Code Veronica X would be a good one. That one's fucking killer.
They already put Code Veronica on current consoles.
Yeah,
but
they
same
didn't.
Tank controls and everything.
Yeah, but they haven't done it with like 4 times.
That's true. I'm not gonna lie, those original tank control games, I don't like that.
They
control.
were good. They like around the time when we didn't know any better, they were fine.
Yeah,
and it was
that's
like
true.
frustrating, and we couldn't explain it. But now that we know better, we can I can't go back and play those games anymore.
And also the things that 4 and 5 did, which I'm not gonna lie, I did like 5. Resident Evil.
Sure.
It was fine.
The thing that, those games, they did something where you can't move and shoot at the same time.
Yeah.
That gave, just a little bit more intensity. The over-the-shoulder thing that they introduced to 4 for me is the best out of all the Resident Evils.
Yeah.
So, and I know that's not a popular belief. A lot of people think like the original ones are. Like 2, I think a lot of people really like.
3 is mine,
3
but
years. Yeah.
that's also not a popular opinion.
Yeah. I don't know if there really is a popular opinion.
I think 2 actually is.
2 is probably
2 is like the Final Fantasy 7 of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I go 3, Code Veronica X, 2, 1, then 4, then 5. Never played 6.
6 was a giant bag of dicks, which is unfortunate because, I'll explain the way 6 was set up. There's 3 games in 6, actually.
What?
Yeah, so you play...
Wait, oh no, they're not doing the whole episodes thing, are they?
No, the way it's set up is there's one, it's 3 mini games put in one game. So, one mini game, you're Leon Kennedy.
Yeah.
And it's the old classic horror, jump scare, low ammo kind of game that we all used to love, right?
Okay.
The next one is who's the giant roided guy? Chris.
Yeah,
Chris.
Yeah.
Redfield.
Redfield.
Chris
That's
Redfield.
it.
Yeah. So the second game is Chris Redfield, which is the Resident Evil 5, the trillions of ammo, giant guns, explosions everywhere.
Yeah, because he's an action hero.
Roundhouse
pretty
kicking
much.
everyone in the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget suplexing motherfuckers till their heads explode.
Yes.
That is actually a move in 5?
Yeah, it's in 5. Yeah.
It's also in 4, admittedly, in a few spots.
And then who was the Matrix guy in the Resident Evils? He was in
Wesker.
Wesker, yeah. So Wesker has a son who has all of his abilities.
Of course he does.
And the third minigame is your Wesker, and you have all the superpowers. You can run fast and jump high and shit like that.
So how does this go wrong?
Because it's not the entire Leon Kennedy game. There's 2/3 of that game which is just really fucking bad.
A third of that game is good, and the rest of it is
But
shit.
all those stories interweave with each other.
Yeah.
So as you're playing as Leon Kennedy, you'll run across where you'll run into Chris or Wesker's kid in another part, and then there's a giant, boss fight with all 3 of them. So you have to do the same boss fight 3 times because you're playing as 3 different people. It's just so fucking
That sounds
bad.
awful.
Okay.
And the picture of that game, the 6, looks like a girl giving a blowjob to a giraffe.
I don't
I'm
know
good
that
with
that's
that.
a bad thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to show you this.
Okay.
Wait. Talk. You?
Hi.
Are you amongst ourselves?
I don't know who ourselves is.
I thought for
Look
a
at
minute he was talking to the...
Yep. Right now,
I like it.
on your phone or browser, look up Resident Evil 6.
It's a very esoteric kind of
That's a woman giving a blowjob to a giraffe.
the giraffe standing up on its hind legs.
Yeah.
That's definitely a kind of a Rorschach test, I think.
She's kind of like leaning forward.
That's like the
They're
worst
both in a-
Rorschach test ever.
They of course have both been cocooned mid blowjob.
Yeah. I think this is one of those Rorschach tests where it's like there's two answers, and like it's either this is the number 6, or like no, that's a giraffe getting a blowjob.
Yeah.
From
a very coy cocooned person.
Yeah, I don't know that I see a woman necessarily. Kind of a
anthropomorphic.
Maybe a banana
Banana
person.
Giving a blowjob to a giraffe.
Yeah.
That's a far more disturbing picture.
Rorschach would be like, wow, I've never heard that before.
Your doctor would be like, okay.
Well,
just checking the box for crazy as shit.
So Capcom has come out and said that they're no longer like leaning more towards the IP. They think they have a good enough back catalog that they can just re-release all of their stuff.
Well, that's cool. So
remastered. But you know what? That's not the Capcom that I grew up with. They were the most innovative, amazing developer of all time. And then Inafune left, and then they just went to shit. All they said is they're just going to remake all their stuff now.
you know what though? I mean, this is the second Japanese developer that's just kind of like middle fingered everybody now.
Kojima.
Yeah.
Konami.
Kojima's still cool.
That's what, I apologize, everybody. I knew what I meant, not what I said.
So I don't know. This works for probably 90% of Nintendo's business model, which is basically every new console generation. We can basically release the same IPs we had with a new package, and then kind of we'll repackage some things,
and then we'll mix in some shitty sports things.
So I think that model will be fine, but I mean, I think it's a bit risky in the long term. So I wonder if 5 years from now,
Capcom's even going to be a place.
The gaming market, the people who are nostalgic for 4, 5, and 6 for Resident Evil, are they going to care anymore? And then
the people who are nostalgic for 4,
all
5,
of
and 6, like
on modern console. And the fact that, the Xbox One's backwards compatible now, none of that shit matters because all those games came out on the 360.
Resident Evil 4 was on the PlayStation 2.
It was on the PlayStation 2, but they re-released it for free.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
One of the games with golds, they gave it Resident Evil 4. Like 2 or 3 times they gave it away for free.
My point is that like the people who are nostalgic for 4, 5, and 6, they have an outlet for that. The people. If you're cashing in on nostalgia, you go to the target audience who doesn't have like, okay, if I wanted to play Final Fantasy VII, originally I'd have to go back and I'd have to play it on a PlayStation or a PlayStation 2.
Or now a 4.
Now a 4.
But now, actually this plays into what you're saying. So now they've re-released Final Fantasy VII on modern consoles, and they're going to be putting out a remastered edition. That's actually not an awful idea. It's been a long time.
Especially since it's like the game.
But I think my big hang-up is these games are already on modern consoles.
Exactly. So there's no
back even
nostalgia.
To the Dino Crisis. Do all those games. Do what other shit did Capcom do? They did pretty much everything in like late 90s was Capcom. If it wasn't Square Enix.
That wouldn't be it'd be a shitty business model, but I couldn't fault it if they were just going to,
serialize their re-release
every year, just release whatever came out again 10 years ago. That could work. That could be okay.
It's kind of sad. This sounds like the final bullet in the head for the series.
Yeah.
Maybe it's finally dead for good.
Nah, for a couple more years, then they'll reboot it.
I'm just getting pissed because
I don't think a
Resident Evil 4 is
reboot
my favorite, and now they're making me hate it. So
I don't know that a reboot is the right thing for this.
Yeah.
Especially if they are actively fucking over their... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Speaking of reboots, Bruce Willis is being eyed to star in the remake of Death Wish. The original character was played by Charles Bronson. Thoughts?
I don't think he's... I don't know. I don't think that's a good call.
Leave Death Wish alone. Charles Bronson is an icon. They're remaking so many of his movies. They're going to be coming out with the Magnificent Seven sometime this year or early next year. And that's just, that's one of my favorite Westerns. Leave It Alone.
This is an era. It has been an era since the fucking 80s, but nothing sacred. And in terms of reboots, remakes, sequels, if it exists and it is an ISP with any kind of credibility and you can ride that credibility, you're going to ride it hard.
Yeah, that's true. But
so
then,
avoiding that is not an option.
I just think we have enough car movies,
Oh.
Car movies are like
well,
a dime a dozen right now.
We have a lot of movies, but they're all still getting made.
We have a long-running car movie franchise right now.
Yeah, it's going to be going on until 2021?
Something like that.
It's 2001 because that's when the first Fast and Furious movie came out. 20 years ago.
Yeah.
First Fast and Furious movie. Almost.
That's
getting close.
Pretty weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, I'm not saying I don't like him, but I just leave that movie alone for me personally.
It doesn't sound like a good call.
Speaking of things that we should just leave alone, Nickelodeon is making a live-action Legends of the Hidden Temple film.
I don't know that I hate this.
But
how do you do this?
Because it's not going to be like a game show. It's going to be like a themed movie. Like there's
this is the Legend of the Hidden Temple. These are actual people exploring it.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that sounds weird.
Yeah.
Just remember...
Hashtag Blue Barracudas.
Before you get skeptical of this, and this is what I told myself, was like, oh, Nickelodeon did Avatar. Like, Nickelodeon does good shit.
Their shows have been good.
They have some good shows on there.
They also did the live action Avatar movies.
Yeah.
Last Airbender, so.
That was a, I don't have
They
words.
let that happen. They didn't do it.
I curse violently constantly. My vocabulary in terms of being derogatory is vast, and I've got nothing for that movie. Not that it doesn't deserve it. I can't enough.
All I'm saying is that it depends on who's making this movie.
All I want to know is Kirk Frog going to be in this again as the announcer, and is Omek going to be back?
There's an announcer like while these people are exploring this ancient too.
But think about it. Like Omek had the orgasm sound every single time he opened his gate. Remember that? He's like, Omek, please open your gate.
Oh God!
You remember that?
Yeah.
And then the Blue Barracudas got, attacked by the rapey temple guards. They're like, they're children running through. And then these men run out, grab them, and then they take them into this back room. You never see them again.
Those things were scary.
What happened to those?
Those things were actually frightening.
I always just assumed that those kids were dead forever, like in real life.
You never saw them again.
Yeah.
Because at the end, when they're like, oh, you didn't make it. They didn't bring those kids back out. They were just gone.
I think... Yeah, dude, those things were actually scary, and like the kids that were grabbed by them were genuinely screaming in terror because it was actually Because I know I was listening to a podcast with someone who was on that show, and they were grabbed by one of those things, and they were like, it was one of the most terrifying things that's ever happened.
Yeah, you don't see them coming, and then
because they're there in plain sight. Those guys, but they're camouflaged really well.
Yeah, like suspiciously well. Like I think now for a modern time, I don't know, this is so fucked up, I shouldn't say this, but I think that for the modern movie, they should wear Jared Subway masks.
Okay. I don't think that would camouflage them very well. I think that would make it a little too obvious what their intentions were.
Yeah.
They just rip off the temple guard mask and it's Jared, surprise, motherfucker. And
it was Jared. Jared was the temple guard.
Jared
all
was
along.
the temple guard all along.
It was his disguise.
Yeah. So okay, there was the Blue Barracudas, the Purple Monkeys. It was the Golden Monkeys, or
I think it was the Golden Monkeys.
The Golden Monkeys.
Oh man, was it
the Purple Piranhas? Is that what it was?
I thought it was the Pink Piranhas.
Pink Piranhas. I'll have to look.
Fuck, man. It's been ages.
All I remember is Blue Barracudas because that's always who I rooted for.
Yeah.
The name is easily the coolest.
Yeah. And then the White Cranes or the White Storks, something like that.
Crane sounds cooler than Storks.
White Heron, I can't remember. Anywho, So the Dark Tower film #1 is set to start production in 6 weeks. Guess who's excited for that?
You?
This guy. I would do
Nailed it.
dirty things to become an extra in that movie.
I really love the casting so far.
Idris Elba and McConaughey.
Yeah.
I'd do dirty things to be an extra in a lot of movies.
Yeah. But this for me, because the Dark Tower
My
means
bar is
more
low.
Yeah. I'll do it. Fuck it. No, but the Dark Tower means more to me than a lot of people. So,
Wait, do you mean that the Dark Tower means more to you than it does to other people, or it means more to you than a lot of people mean to you?
the latter.
So right now, if like Galactus were to show up and be like, I'm going to eat Mike and Jareth, or I'm going to eat the entire existence of the Dark Tower series.
You guys would be okay.
Aw. Well, how about
You
that?
guys are safe. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. A lot
Take that, Galactus.
Now, every
And
other
Stephen
fucker
King.
in this apartment complex couldn't give two shits about him.
Yeah, take
They are
that.
gone, but
Other
Roland,
people's-
Susanna, Eddie, Oi, especially Oi. Yeah. No, they're way more important than every person
I am
in here.
about to read the first of this series.
I will tell you this. The first book is just a setup. So if you read the first book and you're like, well, I don't know if I really should continue, it's the second book where things like kick off. So the first book is just purely introducing you to that world. So I tell everybody, keep that in mind.
Very well.
But yeah.
I'm also reading the Dresden Files, which I have been told the same thing. So.
What's going on, Jareth? You okay?
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's like a boo.
Yeah.
You looked at him and he went away. Okay.
That was a horse. That wasn't a boo. That's not what boos sound.
So, yes, boos don't make any sound.
Well, no, they make that weird, like, high tittering sound.
I can't.
Oh, yeah, they do.
That's a little too high.
That sounded more like a ghast in Minecraft, really.
They make a very kind of... They make like a weird... like a... Yeah.
This has been sound effects
It's
brought
like-
to you by Flick Freaks.
It's like a distant horse distressed.
So Sony, as we know, has given partial rights of Spider-Man back to Disney and Marvel. They still own Venom, and they're now making a spin-off Venom film.
Cool.
Venom, one of my favorite,
Yep.
if not my all-time favorite
Venom.
He's
Bef-
awesome.
Before I
Marvel
like,
villain.
I think when I was first choosing my favorite comic book things, I just naturally gravitated to Venom because he was fucking rad.
Yeah.
His
Him and
aesthet-
Carnage are like the two coolest fuckers ever.
Yeah.
I mean, even just going by his aesthetic is... Ugh, he looks so fucking badass.
Yeah.
Like that. And he's got like that thing going on.
The
It's
tongue,
like awesome
the,
as shit.
The tongue, the eyes, the goo.
The spider spiky things that he just does.
Yeah.
Like I'm 100% into it. I'm less excited about it now.
Because Sony's making it and they made the Amazing Spider-Mans.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't have a lot of hope anymore, ever, about anything. Ever again.
I just don't have a lot of hope. Silence.
Current trends in movies have
That actually sums up my thoughts as well.
So, speaking of Marvel, Disney CEO Bob Iger, yeah, that's how you say it. isn't
Iger?
it? Iger. Bob Iger has
I don't
said
know. I've never heard his name said before.
It's
I
not
don't know
Disney.
who he is.
Disney, for all I know, Walt Disney himself is still the CEO, and they just answer to his corpse.
No, they answer to his cyborg body.
Oh, okay.
They reanimated him in 2014.
Well, Bob has said that they have absolutely zero plans to ever make an R-rated Marvel movie.
I am completely shocked. Can you tell by my voice?
But it sucks because they do own the rights to a lot of very adult-themed characters, like the Punisher.
Yeah.
Well, they're making R-rated. They're making
Netflix.
non-rated shows.
Yeah, but a movie is what we're talking. So
Yeah.
like they'll never make a Punisher movie that's R-rated.
I don't hate that, to
I
be
kinda
honest.
do. They own the rights to Carnage, like we just said, which is totally should be an R-rated because the guy is a psychopath. They should have looked at what Deadpool did, and I know Deadpool is a very, very isolated incident because that character is so out of the norm.
Yeah.
But it is a Marvel property. Sure, it was brought to us by Fox, but they should have looked at that model and said, you know what, there is a market for this, obviously, and we need to look into this and see if any of our properties we own could lend itself to that style of filmmaking.
Well, I guess. Were the best parts of Deadpool the fact that it was R-rated, though?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Like,
I really do like the whole
I mean,
no-holds-bar language, the gross sexual stuff like him jerking off while looking at a stuffed unicorn. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, no, it's magical, and almost all of it was because it was R-rated.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
dropped that down to PG-13, you killed that movie. Yeah. Like, you torpedoed it.
well,
And that's not saying that it's a bad movie by any means. It's just, it is its own, it is what it is.
yeah.
I can't believe Brian and Vane hated that movie. Something wrong with those two.
Well, no, I'm not, never mind.
Yeah. But what
Don't
so
want to
you guys-
shit talk on the podcast? Is that what that was? Okay.
No.
Okay, so you guys, you could see how this, makes sense for Disney, but are you at all upset by this news?
You know what? I am a little bummed. Just knowing that our options moving forward are limited from the get-go, at least by their mindset. I mean, they could, of course, change their mind at any time and be like, hey, fuck it.
My
Fantastic Four reboot for the 800th time.
My
but
attitude is basically
R-rated.
that if they want an R-rated movie to happen, they will probably give the rights to someone else, like they did with, Deadpool's rights were already with Fox, but if a Carnage movie wants to get made, or if a true Punisher feature film needs to happen,
Or they could always option it out.
I think that they will give it to someone else. I kind of, and I understand people having different opinions in this. I kind of like that Marvel's, figurehead, their capital ship films are going to be like, you can take your kids to them no matter what. I kind of like that kids can go to them without fear of like being exposed to the shit in Deadpool.
like seeing people being shot in the brains and a
Yeah.
man liquefied on a street sign.
which is not inherently bad, but maybe you want
Shit,
some-
I was watching worse shit than that.
Yeah.
But I'm not exactly the paragon of what people want
kind
their
of-
children to grow up to be.
it's kind of my attitude towards like, I hate that Superman has like a dark and gritty thing going on. Like Superman should be like the paragon of good, and like
Also, his dark and gritty thing is shitty
it
as fuck.
sucks because it doesn't fit him at all.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. If they wanted to combine all of the DC universe to make like the Justice League, I don't think that movie could have lent itself. Here's why. You can't have bright, colorful Superman standing next to dark, brooding Batman in the same shot. It's not going to make sense. So they have to find a collective, universal theme for all of these movies. And obviously, Batman is a shit ton more popular right now than Superman.
Because Superman fucking sucks.
He's not my favorite. I don't hate Superman, though. But speaking of Batman v Superman, let's move on to the final news
I got
item.
plenty of shit I could throw at fucking
The
Superman.
very first Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice review has been released.
Is it a dumpster fire?
There's 6 talking points about this, okay?
Okay.
So the first one. If you loved Man of Steel, you will love BVS. If you loved Man of Steel, but not the end, BVS may redeem that. If you hated Man of Steel and the whole grim dark thing, okay, probably not going to be for you. Wonder Woman is fucking fearsome. There's a moment between Batman and Superman that'll make even the most cynical eye tear up a little bit. And
Do they
fans-
have like a really friendly blowjob?
Yes. And the final talking point is fans will have a lot to discuss and or fight over.
You know,
So- There you go.
I've come around to this. in the way that I don't think I'm ever going to like this. But I've come around in the way that I'm excited to see what fans of DC have to say. I'm excited to see the discussion.
See me?
Well, you and Josh Jones over on Spoilercast.
Yeah.
He's a big DC
Agents
guy.
of Sir.
Also
Go
known as
find
Solaris,
Agents of
I
Sir
think
podcast
is,
and listen to him.
Yeah. So Doomsday is introduced in this film, and really the advent of the Justice League. And I think there are implications for the rest of the DC model going forward.
From what I know, we are going to see... My voice cracked a little bit there.
That's okay.
From what I know, we're going to see... They may just be cameos. Aquaman, The Flash.
I'm excited for Aquaman.
Do you know Jason Momoa?
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm excited for
He
it.
doesn't look at all like Aquaman.
He looks like a fucking
better.
badass.
He looks better than Aquaman.
Aquaman is a terrible hero.
Actually, I kind of like Aquaman.
No,
I think that
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Jason Momoa might redeem the Aquaman franchise. That'd be
It's
cool.
possible because he's awesome, but Aquaman's terrible. So going forward, I'm a person who literally despised Man of Steel.
You hated
Not-
that movie.
Not because it
with
was
the fiery passion of 1,000 suns.
not because it was dark and gritty. That wasn't what I hated about it. It was everything else. Every single other aspect of it.
So you don't like Henry Cavill as Superman?
No.
Really? I think he is like pitch perfect to play Superman.
I think he's a great Superman.
Sure, fine, whatever. The
Just
movie
like,
was
fuck
just
you, I don't care.
the
Moving on.
movie was terrible.
Loved it. Well, not loved it. I really liked it. I really liked that movie.
This is the sound of me losing like all of my respect for you.
I literally saw it shed off of your body and
Yeah.
plop down on my rug.
He's gonna need to change that rug.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Like I didn't finish that movie, and it ruined my day.
Moving on from Jareth's vitriol. It ruined your day. Okay,
You were there.
I was there. I hated it too, but I think I'm excited to see more opinions emerging from this, and I might even give this movie a shot, which says a lot for me.
I'll watch it.
I'm going to have fanboy bias, so just going into this, everybody, whenever I do give my review, which will probably be opening night, keep that in mind. I will have fanboy bias.
Okay.
I will
I'm
watch
excited.
it because I will either have to talk about it on this podcast or the fucking spoiler cast.
Out of necessity, you will have
Yeah.
to watch it.
So I'm probably going to be like the one person in either podcast who's just like, fuck.
All right. That is going to wrap it up for the news segment. We have a Patreon campaign. If you head over to patreon.com/flickfreaks, you can donate as little as $1 a month, all the way up to $20 a month, or you don't have to donate at all if you don't want to.
If I had $1 for as many times as Andrew had talked about the Patreon on this podcast, I would donate it to the Patreon for Flick Freaks.
Oh, fuck. It would just go right back in. Okay. Time for trailer talk, guys. The first trailer we're going to be talking about is for the upcoming August 12th release of the Pete's Dragon remake. This is, of course, a remake of the old, like, 1970s Pete's Dragon.
Oh boy. Wow. Was that 1970s?
It was probably something like that.
Man.
I can't remember. Like, late 1970s.
The trailer kind of makes it look like the Jungle Book plus E.T. plus something with dragons.
It's really weird because the director and writer of this, his name is David Lowery. He's never done anything like this. He's done movies like Ain't Them Body Saints and stuff like that. Which
The what?
Ain't Them Body Saints. It's this weird, like a outlaw prison love story. It has like Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara and Ben
What?
Foster in it.
Where's this movie going to go then?
What?
Yeah. And now he's doing Pete's Dragon.
Okay.
Again, what?
Yeah. So this movie stars Bryce Dallas Howard, Robert Redford, Carl Urban, and Wes Bentley. So, yeah,
And then Kid.
and then Kid.
Oh,
Kid
what's his
played
name?
by Oaks Fegley.
Oaks Figley, which sounds like a
That's
kind of an indie
awful
country band.
last name. Yeah, he does. He sounds like he's going to grow up to be a country star.
Well,
I'm Oaks
The
Fegley.
last kid who grew up, who was the original Pete and Pete's Dragon, grew up to be like a heroin addict. So
So,
Okay,
I mean,
well,
hey, country stars a step up. I mean, he could also be a heroin addict.
going
Nothing's
off
stopping
this
him.
one trailer that we saw, the original Pete's Dragon was this colorful, happy musical.
Mhm.
This trailer, total opposite direction. It kind of had a Where the Wild Things Are kind of vibe to it,
Yeah.
which was...
Did anybody jump off a moving car and Where the Wild Things Are?
There was a lot of jumping off of high places.
We're talking about the movie remake, not
Yeah.
the book, yeah?
Yeah.
Could never seen that. I just know the book, which was a delight.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the epitome of childhood is Where the Wild
Yeah.
Things Are. So,
Fuck you, I'm gonna go live in an imaginary world.
yeah, that's literally the
Monsters.
opening line of the book.
Yeah. Fuck you. I'm gonna- the R-rated version of Where the Wild... That was me as a kid.
Where dem wilds at? Wild spelt with a Z. Where dem wilds at? So, yeah, interested, curious. Don't know if I'll see it. I'll wait to hear good things, and then I'll take it from there. Next trailer up is Hostile Border. This movie is actually the lead actress in this. Her name is Veronica Sixtos, who a lot of the listeners of this
Six
podcast...
Toes?
Yeah. Sixtos.
Different thing. Gotcha.
Not 6 toes, Sixtos.
She probably has 10 toes. Probably.
So
That's disappointing.
it's directed by... film crashed. Michael Dwyer, and it's written by Caitlin McLaughlin. And it's really interesting because it's about this one girl who's played by Veronica Sixtos, used to live in the United States, I guess on a visa, was stealing credit card information from people. Now she is deported back to Mexico, never going to be allowed back into the United States. But she's become so acclimated to the United States that she is willing to do anything to get back, and in doing so, she ends up with the wrong group of people. It kind of has a Winter's Bone border feel to it.
Yeah.
It looks intriguing.
Yeah.
Very much so. And, like, I'm not just saying this, this is going to sound wrong the way I'm saying it, but it's, okay, how about it's really awesome to see somebody I kind of know in a movie that looks so fucking good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's
As opposed
very
to,
cool.
to seeing them in like something that looks like it's just awful.
Seeing them in something like Damn Daniel Support Group.
Aww.
I was in
We're
it too.
in that.
But no, Hostile Border it looks really good. It's out right now, and it's also going to get a theatrical release in April.
So go check it out. See what you think, internet.
Yeah,
Probably.
at least watch the trailer and be blown away because the trailer is just phenomenal. Like I
It's a good trailer.
don't know how many times I've seen it.
It's a
More
hell
than
of a
once.
lot better than the next trailer we have to talk about.
The final trailer and the most famous trailer in the world right now is the remake of Ghostbusters. This movie stars Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Leslie. I said no. Did I say? I said Melissa McCarthy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon. That's who I was trying to think of. And then you have Leslie Jones.
Well,
So everybody from SNL and then Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
if there's one thing that I took away from this at all, it's that woman slapped the ghost right out of that other woman.
Yes. So I said this whenever I did the trailer reaction. For me personally, Melissa McCarthy is like salt. In very small amounts, she can make a dish great. But if you just give me nothing but salt, it's going to kill it. And this looks like it's just a giant heaping pile of salt.
She's to me
Sure you're not
she's
just being salty?
she's like a female Jack Black in a way.
Except I really like Jack Black.
She's not like Jack Black, but she is in the way that people got really fucking tired of his persona really fast. I think that's what's happened to a lot of people with Melissa McCarthy.
It's very, very possible.
Well,
Whenever he was putting
yeah.
out like 9 movies of the year and they were all the same.
Just remember Gulliver's Travels, I think.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I think that movie was a wreck before he was even involved.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Paul Feig. He gave, like all those strong female protagonist movies like Spy, which was also, Melissa McCarthy.
Yes.
He did Bridesmaids, The Heat, again, Melissa McCarthy.
Wasn't,
And Bridesmaids, Melissa McCarthy.
yeah.
It looks like just another one of those movies.
Yeah.
And
Also, it looks like it's got a weird... It doesn't look like it's got a solid idea it wants to present to us. Like, they gave us the plot, essentially.
Compared to the other Ghostbusters, this looks like a romp, you know? Like a comedy slapstick romp, which is not really what the other Ghostbusters were. I don't know what I would call them.
The other Ghostbusters were a movie that happened to feature ghosts, and it also happened to be a comedy.
The ghosts were really a backdrop to the character. Like, the first movie was really a character drama with ghosts as a backdrop.
That was, of course, largely comedic.
Also some weird Republican overtones throughout.
Yeah.
But we don't need to talk about that.
So, on YouTube right now, on Sony Pictures Entertainment's channel, this trailer has 18.5 million views.
Yep.
It has 159,000 likes and 320,000 dislikes.
Whew! It's worth mentioning that it doesn't seem like the trailer doesn't seem to want to present a united idea as to what the movie is. For example, it opens with the old movie exists. Now, this many years later, a new team is coming out. But everything else in the trailers seemed to imply that this was essentially a hard reboot.
Building on that,
I will say this. Okay, just notice. Bill Murray, Sigourney Weaver, and Dan Aykroyd are listed as cast members.
It might be in the same way that...
Then what the fuck?
Spoilers for Star Wars. It might be in the same way that Mark Hamill was listed as a cast member for Star Wars Episode 7.
Quick cameo.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Well, no, but he was actually showing up as his own character. If they're just showing up as like, hi, I'm a character in this movie also, then that's not the same thing.
I can't really speak to that. I don't have a major sticking point for that.
So... I don't know why I find this interesting, but Kyron Sony, the guy who played Dopinder in Deadpool, he's going to be in this as well.
Oh, cool.
I really liked him in Deadpool.
Yeah.
He was really funny.
He was funny.
So, yeah. Hopefully, this movie, I just have low expectations right now, and it's going to surprise me.
That seems like the best bet. I think the main reason this doesn't seem to be rubbing me quite as badly as it seems to be rubbing other people is this looks really different from the original Ghostbusters. It does not look like it's trying to be the same thing.
That's true.
So I think that's why I'm like, okay, it looks dumb, and yeah, it's trampling on the beloved franchise, but it seems to be doing something.
So was Ghostbusters 2.
I don't know. I liked Ghostbusters 2.
I actually did also.
From a novelty standpoint, I really like it.
I loved Ghostbusters 2 as a kid.
Statue of Liberty was Ghostbusters 2, right?
Yes. No, that was... Well, there's only 1 and 2, so, yeah.
They're in France in 2.
Yeah. With the painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, that one was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So here's...
A lot of people didn't like it, though.
No, I know a lot of people...
Everybody hated it hard, and I was like, Ghostbusters 2!
Maybe this
like,
is my problem with this new Ghostbusters franchise. If you look at Paul Feig's movies, he thinks that he can exchange vulgarity in place for comedy. He thinks that if it's gross, it's going to be funny. If a woman says something about her vagina in a really raunchy way, then it's going to be funny. And I hope that he doesn't rely too much on that in place of something actually intelligent.
That being said, it can be funny.
It can be funny, but I think he just cranks that up to 11 and he just way overdoes it.
Kind of jackasses the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that what we liked about Deadpool, though, to be fair?
No, because Deadpool was actually smart at the same time. The jokes were gross, but they were smart gross.
Also,
and I'm not saying that this can't be.
The things he called people were fucking amazing.
Yeah. And I think that's just, we expect that from Ryan Reynolds, because he is able to give quick, snappy retorts.
I mean, think of, what was it? Damn it. Cock-juggling thunder cunt.
Oh,
from
wow.
Blade 3.
I totally forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was like that nonstop, but better.
Yeah.
Because it actually fit the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe
he calls a guy a shit swizzler.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I'm insulted by it.
It is either, but I loved it.
Also, here's another thing. Deadpool was its own original thing. It wasn't a rehash or a remake.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
It kind of was, because Deadpool was Ryan Reynolds, but in X-Men Wolverine's Beginnings or whatever.
Origin.
No.
X-Men Origin Wolverine.
No, X-Men's Origins
Wolverine.
Wolverine's Cherry. His first time.
It's popping it.
Yeah.
Moving on now, everybody, that's going to wrap it up for Trailer Talk.
Movie was
If
bad.
you head over, yeah, it was really bad. If you head over to riff.tv/flickfreaks, we are on Riff TV, where we are doing live commentary and reactions to Netflix shows. Whenever we get a chance, I need you guys to come back over so we can do like Big Trouble in Little China.
I would
something like
love that.
Too bad like the Lethal Weapons aren't.
Wait a second, like the old ass movie?
Yeah,
Love that movie.
it's great. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, right now we've only put up 3 episodes on there of Mad Men, and I'm really sorry. There's so much shit I got to do. But moving on now, it's time for the Fairbairn Forecast. The movies you can go and see in theaters right now. You can go see Deadpool, obviously. Go and see it.
Which is a ton of fun, but do not bring anybody under the age of probably 24.
Yeah. Also go see The Witch, which Jareth and I are going to be going to see later this week, possibly.
When was
was
this
it you? Was it
established?
Who sent me that? I swear to God.
Who came up with this plan? I mean,
swear-
I'm down.
I'm going to
do
look this
it.
up. Who sent me that message today?
I start my new job soon, so I'll be available in the
Oh,
evenings.
that was Roper.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because okay, it was on a Facebook Messenger, and I thought that as I woke up, it's what woke me up. I'm like, I got a new message. Who wants to go see The Witch with me? And I said, that's probably Jareth. Okay, let's go
Yeah,
see.
I'd love to go see The Witch. I'm
Okay.
very excited for it. Just give me a little heads up.
I swear I thought it was you.
It's like Friday rolls around, you're like, man, where you at? Movie's in 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm at work. What are you talking about?
Okay, technically you can go see Gods of Egypt,
But you shouldn't.
but you shouldn't. You can go see Zootopia, which apparently is getting like insanely good reviews. I think it has 100% on Rotten
Kind of
Tomatoes.
want to see it.
I do too. I'm
I
really
do-
excited.
Guys, let's go see that instead of The Witch.
I think we'll be much happier if we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can also go see London Has Fallen.
Which I'm not.
You could do that.
Fuck
if
it.
Yeah.
you Get a hard on for Morgan Freeman and
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler. Yeah.
Guys, I would like to do IMDb Idiots, but I have to go pick up my dog and bring her over here. So.
Okay.
And she's probably peeing and pooping right now. And
Okay.
So
Okay.
I wanted to thank everybody for...
That's fine. I'll lose anyway.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody! Mike just won IMDb Idiots!
Yay!
Fuck you. Mike, not the internet. I love you, internet. I've
Yeah.
never hurt you.
All right. Thank you to everybody for listening. If you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button down there. You can find us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, and Riff, all at /FlickFreaks. Guys, you want to plug away? I know you guys just recorded or Jareth possibly just recorded a spoiler cast for Deadpool, which should be out today.
I hope.
I thought it was usually Wednesday when it
It
dropped.
is usually Wednesday, but I guess he's falling behind.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Josh has got a lot of shit going on right now.
So, Roper says it'll probably be out today. We recorded it last Sunday,
Yeah.
so it'll be a full week from recording. But we did do 2 weeks in a row, which is abnormal for
You're
us.
normally every other week.
Yeah.
So,
I think that probably accounts for a lot of the delay.
yeah.
So,
All right.
Great episode, though.
Anything else you guys want to plug? Anything new coming up?
I got nothing.
Nothing? Jareth?
I don't.
All right.
I don't do much outside of these two things.
That's not true. I was going to say you do both of them. That's very...
Yeah.
So, you are both on Twitter. Where can people find you on Twitter?
I'm at Perpetual Wizard.
Mike?
I am at me and ampersand. I am starting to tweet a little more, but I'm still not as interesting as Perpetual Wizard.
Spell ampersand out also. It's not the symbol.
Yeah, I don't know if you can actually use symbols in your name.
I don't think so,
Besides the at.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
but that's automatic.
Your user, your handle, whatever.
What if you could put an at in the middle of your name? You'd be
At.
hey, I'm at.
At.
I'm an AT-AT.
Walker.
Just have like, if you could have that name, just like You could do I'm at AT and then like your picture's like the head of an AT-AT.
The AT-AT Walker Texas Ranger.
Jareth is just giving him
I fucking blew Jareth's
Oh,
mind.
Imagine one of those roundhouse kicking a motherfucker.
Okay, we will catch you guys in the next episode. Until then, Godspeed.
Bye.